put in for fresh drinking water. But I tell you, Monsieur Onedin, as harbour master of Brest, I will not permit a ship in mutiny on my mooring.
I'll not tolerate a mutiny on a ship of my charter.
I tried to talk to the captain, but the mate, Monsieur...
Mr. Carby.
That's right. You would not allow the captain on the deck.
That is why I sent for you, Monsieur Onedin. The best I could do was to prevent them sailing before you arrived.
Well, I shall go aboard her. I shall talk to Captain Kirkwood.
Is that wise? There are other ways to arrest the crew.
There's not another way of saving my cargo of pineapples. I shall sail her to England myself.
With that crew? In mutiny?
There's the matter of harbour dues.
You will be paid.
Very well, I will stand off for 10 minutes. If you are knifed and thrown overboard, I will arrange French arrest.
Thank you, Captain.
Keep your hands off me, Mr. Carby. Take me to Captain Kirkwood, will you?
First, Mr. Onedin, you will talk with us.
Then I'll find him myself.
How are you managing?
I cannot understand why you're so disturbed, Robert. After all, you have 3 companies. No, thank you. A need in Line and Company Limited, a need in warehouses, and a need in Chandler.
Well, that's all very fine and grand on paper, but here we are without a penny in our pocket, and bill waving creditors round every corner you turn.
You're being unfair, Robert. If it were not for your brother James, you'd not have a chandler's shop.
And if it were not for brother James, Robert would not have lost the shop father left him in the first place.
Exactly. Here we are, up to our necks in debt, and James conveniently slips away to France.
Did you mention to James that I might be interested in buying some Eden Line shares?
Albert, may I suggest...
No, my love, please. No interference in my business affairs.
No, I'm sorry, but you'd be better off investing your money elsewhere, Albert.
You're quite unreasonable. James has a very shrewd and sound business sense.
Then why doesn't he concentrate then on securing a cargo for our own 2 ships, eh?
But oh no, brother James has to go chartering ships to catch fancy trade like pineapples from the West Indies.
Right, always biting off more than he can chew.
I fear James forgets that people run ships. Winds and tides are not the only enemies with which he has to contend.
Captain Kirkwood. You had a welcome face, Onedin. I did not expect to see you again or anyone else come to that.
My sympathies, my admiration that you safely brought the ship back this far.
God's work, not mine.
Now tell me, Captain, are we in danger of our lives?
No, the fools are too confused for violence.
Yes, good. Well, then we can talk to them. If not...
Talk to the crew.
Aye, we must sail the ship back to England. Tell me, are the events of this mutiny recorded?
Of course, in the log. Every infraction, starting from small deceits, which I thought then were of slight importance, but which ended up in full mutiny.
I will study this.
They will all hang, Mr. Onedin.
You will speak with us now, sir.
I'll speak to you when I'm ready.
As you will. But you're the owner, and it's your cargo that will rot in the hold.
I'm also a certificated captain, Mr. Mate. And I'll take no insolence from you. You, lad. Come with me. Your name, lad?
Arthur Luke, sir.
You aware of the punishment? The crime of mutiny?
Mr. Carby, the mate, explained, sir, that we're not in mutiny. We have relieved the captain of his duties.
Well, Mr. Carby will rot in jail and you along with him.
I've done naught again my conscience, which is free of any blame.
Oh, don't contradict me, boy. I want your story. Every event on this ship leading up to the mutiny.
There seems little point, sir.
Meaning?
Well, you won't just listen.
Well, I shall listen. But woe betide you if you lie or exaggerate. You appear guilty to me, boy, but you might be in some vein innocent, corrupted by Mr. Carby.
Mr. Carby is a fine gentleman, sir. It was the captain. He went mad.
Who told you that the captain was mad? Mr. Carby?
No, I saw it with my own eyes.
Oh, what did you see with your own eyes?
Well, it started when we were 4 days' sail out of Lisbon. The captain lined us up, the whole crew, just before dinner. He says, you men are lazy. You're all fat and lazy, and so you must have been stealing victuals. And then he ordered the cook to throw the dinner over the side. But the cook did that. Then Mr. Carby got mad and argued with the captain. And then the captain got mad.
4 days out of Lisbon.
Aye, sir.
Ah, then, when the captain and Mr. Carby argued, what happened?
Well, the captain said something really wild. He said, you argue with me, Mr. Carby, and I'll see you're hanged for it. Well, we suspected then he was mad, but now we know it.
The log 4 days north of Lisbon has a position. No mention of what you have said.
Next day, Captain called me to his cabin, and he says, Luke, boy, you are damned. And he tells me to sing a hymn, Nearer My God to Thee. And I sing most of it, and he stops me, and his face is all anger. And he says, boy, you sing blasphemously. And he begins to beat me with his walking stick. Mr. Carby hears my cries and comes in and sends me away.
No mention of this either.
Well, it happened, sir.
Very serious allegation. You know, show me the bruises of these beatings.
Oh, that was 9 days ago, sir. The bruises were on my back for 6 days, then they went.
Are you saying that Captain Kirkwood has deliberately written a false log?
The Kirkwood does lie, sir. Like when he said we stole the rum.
Why should the captain lie?
Well, why should we lie, sir?
Now, listen, boy. This is a fruit schooner. 45 tons of perishable pineapple aboard. Now, I hired Captain Kirkwood because he's a man that can bring a ship from Grenada to Port of London in 30 days. Driving ship and crew, full sail, even in a gale.
Yeah, so that your ship can be in the Port of London with the first pineapple and have your fortune made.
Now, sometimes on these occasions when the crew and the ship are tested against the elements, mischief makes itself known.
It is not this case, sir.
Things the captain says are misreported one to the other. Maybe cuffs you. Suddenly this becomes a beating until even you are convinced that you were beaten.
He beat me with his stick, sir.
You say, Captain Kirkwood stole the rum, eh? Captain Kirkwood is a religious man. He does not drink.
No, he poured this stuff away. It smelt down in the scuppers. Mr. Carby will tell you, sir.
Well, I fear for you in the courts, lad.
We're not going to the court, sir. We're not going back to England, sir.
Oh, you're going back. Now, take yourself into a quiet corner. Think a little while. Take your time. When you've decided on the truth, come back to me. Now, tell Carby that I want to see him. Sit down, Mr. Carby.
What brings you to France, Captain O'Needon? What purpose have you here?
Oh, to get this ship under sail for England.
No chance.
You've been here 4 days now. Expect to sit here till the day of judgment.
We've had a mad captain and a hard sail. 30 days of wild westerlies and gales. At this moment, we rest. Then we'll sail for landfall of another Frenchy port and find some Frenchy or Portuguese boat.
Why did you mutiny, Mr. Carby?
10 days into the voyage, I realized the captain was mad. I knew we'd have to relieve him of command.
What gave you the right to judge the captain deranged, eh?
He's done and said 100 mad things on this voyage. He's not spoken to me a word of sense since Grenada. He is deranged.
How did you expect this senseless mutiny to end?
I thought we'd go back to England. It would be easy to explain. Kirkwood will seem like a king's fool in court. No, I'm not sure. I think they'll take his word against ours, as you do.
Not necessarily. That's the one reason why...
Don't soft-talk me, merchant. I know why you're here. You want your cargo safe in England. You want your profits. You give nothing for a man who lost his life because of the devil, or a boy beaten by the lunatic. Kirkwood will come to no harm in our hands. In a day or two, when we're fit and rested again, we'll put him over the side.
Captain Kirkwood's free to go now.
Will you wager your life and his on that? You make one attempt at ship arrest and you'll both go over the side with throats cut. Now we know there'll be no justice. We're desperate men.
You're desperate, Carby. Not the others.
What mean you by that?
10 weeks ago, when I chartered this ship, Captain Kirkwood, he hired you as mate. I saw your papers.
Well?
You once assaulted a captain.
Ah, that is true.
You are nothing but a vicious mutineer.
Talk to me like that again, Anedin, and I'll have your tongue out on deck.
Send for me, Captain.
Come in, Luke. Sit down, boy. I have some questions for you. They tell me, Luke, that I beat you. Is that true?
You did, Captain, with your stick.
Why? Can you remember?
There was no reason, Captain. You just beat me.
I do not think that I believe you. What age have you?
17, Captain.
17 years, and you are going to hang.
I think not, sir.
We must all make that journey, the passage home. It's the journey back that matters.
I do not understand, sir.
200 score years ago, the great navigators, Da Gama, Magellan of Portuguese and Spaniola, the men who charted the coastlines, they sought out the hidden corners of the world. Do you know why they made that journey, boy? I'll tell you. They did not think the passage out important, but the journey home. That was when they drew their contours and learnt their soul's identity. The maps they drew were of themselves and of man's failing against the elements of sin and storm. Oh, I've had my way revealed to me, as in a dream. I've failed my God, but I must be brave. Death beckons, and it is this ship, boy, and I am the captain. We will all die together, you, I, and every soul on this benighted craft. Well, go now and prepare yourself with grace.
Your name? Your name?
Yes?
Yes, you.
I'm Evans. From Vestinio. Lovely place. I look forward to never seeing it again.
Your name?
Castle. My mates call me Jono.
And, which of you is married, eh?
Well, that's a very delicate question, sir. I've got many intimate acquaintances, but I don't want to discuss that.
Shut up! Oh, but a prosecution witness at your trial. I shall report this conversation. I'll ask you again. Which of you is married?
Mattock was married.
Who's Mattock?
Mattock is the young lad who was killed by Captain Kirkwood when Kirkwood sent him aloft in a false 9 to cut a jam in the Topgallant.
It was murder. Kirkwood knew the boy wasn't strong, hadn't the strength of Castlereagh. Yes. Mattock has a young wife and 2 small boys without a father now because Kirkwood murdered him.
I'll ask you again. Which of you is married? You, Castle?
Aye.
You, Ethan?
Aye.
Have you any children?
One, Captain.
Want to see your wife and child again?
Oh, of course.
You, Evans?
I do, and I will.
Then I've been misinformed by Mr. Carby. He says you want to jump ship, that you'll take foreign charter, that you won't go back to England, that you have no wish to see your wives and children again.
Of course we'll see our wives and children again.
You wait 10 years before you set foot in England, you'll still be put in jail. And you must go back, for the sake of your women and children. Now, why do you not go back home now and argue the case?
Well, because we're condemned. We stand no chance. It's jail for us.
If you take this ship home safely, you'll have a better chance, a fair hearing, and my evidence that you sailed this ship home as a disciplined crew. Think about it. Your name?
Van Doorn.
Now, I want you to see the cargo. Help me open the hole.
How are your wares?
If this cargo's back in London in 5 days, all will be well. If not, the court will hear not only of the mutiny, but of deliberate spoiling of cargo.
We don't care about your cargo, Anita. Take my advice. If you want it, eat it.
Lay off, Mr. Fogarty. Hey, watch where you go. Lay off.
Mr. Fogarty, we heard your ship had docked. Did we not, Elizabeth?
Yes, we did.
So, another drink, Mr. Fogarty. You must excuse my mate, Mr. Spears. You see, it's his birthday.
Best call a cab and take him home.
Yes, well, if you don't mind my rushing off.
Not before you take a peep at our son.
Yes. Should like to see him.
Not too close, though. He's easily frightened.
Aye. He's a fine boy. Well, I must get him home.
Daniel, I wasn't expecting you.
I had to come. I wanted to apologize
For what?
for rushing away so abruptly when we met in the market.
Did you manage to get your mate home?
No. No. He would not allow me to take him there. He said his wife would give him Merry birthday or no, so
So I tucked him away in his cabin. I was looking at Mr. Fraser's steamship.
Oh, the Gold Nugget. Albert keeps hoping for someone to commission him to design her, but he's had no luck so far. They all say she's too costly to build.
Well, I've not much time for steamships myself, but I must admit she does look beautiful there. What name did you give him?
William. How you must hate me, Daniel.
Yes, I did. For a time. When I heard you married Fraser, I could have... Your brother James. Please not interfere. Let us be allowed us to manage our own affairs. I'm to blame, not you. I should have done as Fraser did. To hell with your brother James and everyone else and manage it.
You're not to blame, Daniel, nor my brother James. It was I that refused to marry you. I loved you, Daniel, but I wanted the life that Albert could give me and that you could not.
You've not told him.
I tried, but I wasn't brave enough.
Does he suspect?
Why should he?
Will you tell him ever?
I don't know. He believes the child to be his own. How can I tell him when he's been so good to me? It's too much to ask of me.
Oh, I'm not asking you that, Elizabeth. That's not why I came here.
Why did you come?
For no reason. That is for no other reason than to see you. And to talk to you. I understand how you felt. Seaman's wife, that's no life for a lady. Well, I must go.
Oh.
I have to take on a crew. We sail on the evening tide.
You're still on the Baltic run.
Yes, the Baltic timber trade. Goodbye, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, Daniel.
Would you consider it improper if I wrote to you and maybe you wrote a line or two, you know, some news of William?
I think it better not.
Studied the log. I've questioned the crew.
And you are satisfied?
I'm satisfied that the captain's word is always the truth.
Good. Then I have decided we shall have ship arrest.
What?
I want these men arrested.
What, here in France?
Yes. You may be the owner of a perishable cargo, but I am concerned with justice, not money. These men will be arrested here in Brest.
I must disagree with you. As the charterer of the ship and, well, as fellow captains, I must request you to take this ship and crew back to England.
Crew, you say? This band of cutthroats will not take the ship to England?
Given time and, well, I'll convince them of the right course.
I will sail in no ship commanding a mutinous crew.
Well, then, with your permission, I'll command her. Yes.
We will speak with you, Captain O'Neil.
But you're wrong, John.
Bellyacres! You lament for it in Kirkdale jail. You don't have an angel's chance in hell of less than 6 years each.
But I want to see my wife and child again.
Then bring them abroad to me.
No way, Mr. Carby. She's an English girl. She won't go foreign.
Oh,
She
you
won't
know
go
right.
foreign. We stand a good
Relative.
chance.
We've had a meeting of minds, Mr. O'Neil. The ship goes back to London, and you can give these men their mock trial. Near Dover, I will take the tender, make my own landfall, and take my chances. Merchant, you've saved your pineapples.
We'll take this ship to London, but we'll take no commands from Captain Kirkwood.
No, take commands from me. Right, on deck, shot. Put it away, the anchor. full sail, Mr. Mate. Sou'wester outside. She'll go like a scalded cat.
You take some advice from me, sir.
What is it, Mr. Carvey?
Take up the outer jib, Captain. She handles lighter, makes about most speed if she's not head-weighted.
Set about it, then.
Take in the outer jib!
Aye, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Carvey.
There are other things you should know about this ship, Captain. Come with me, I'll show you. Five days ago, I found this. Slashed. All spare sails. Mainsail, topsail, staysails. Cut from top to bottom. All ruined beyond repair.
Who would do this, Mr. Carvey?
You answer that, Captain. This was 18 days ago. I came in here on my inspection and found these open and rum poured on the biscuit.
That could have been the cook's steward.
He said he knew naught, and he's an honest man. The salt beef open and unwrapped, and rum poured on the sugar. That was before all the rum disappeared. And then 4 days ago, a fire in the afterpeak.
What are your suspicions, Mr. Carvey?
Someone's trying to destroy this ship. But I'll not say who, or you'll call me a liar.
Gale, Captain.
Aye.
You want to run before it? She responds well.
Oh, we'll ride it out. We'll arrive in London with 3 masts. Now reef the mainsail and check the cargo.
Cargo checked.
So then check it again. Narrow in the beam. No room for ballast shift.
Aye, Captain.
Tell the cook to keep hot food on. We'll all of us be up to now.
Reef mainsail! Better to go before it! Captain O'Neill's orders! Get it done!
Luke, up on deck! What's up, John? The wind's getting up!
Bad news! What? We can't reef to Gallant! Must! We'll pull the masts out of her. Some dock scouring has cut the clew lines. The rest are knotted. There's nothing we can do about it. What would you do, Mr. Carvey? Your captain! Set full or tops and go with it. She'll dismast for sure. No, we can be ready to cut sheets if necessary. It's worth the risk. Well? Right, Mr. Carby. We'll ride before it. Hold on! The flying ship! She won't sail dead line! Do as I say! Aye, aye, Captain. The ship's started with an axe on the sheets. In case we have to lose it. Aye, Captain! Topsail on. Good. Masting strain, but she'll hold. Good. I think we'll weather it.
You have quite a storm on you, Captain O'Needin.
Ah, there was. Some devils cut the crew lines and knotted others.
Who would do that?
Have you no opinions yourself, Captain?
What action will you take now, sir?
I've set the topgallant, the main lower topsail.
What are we on the Beaufort scale?
Force 9.
Then we should just carry reefed mainsail and lower stays.
Oh, what else can I do? The topgallant's jammed.
Oh, then you're right. It's best to go before it, out of the storm centre. But take care you do not dismast, O'Needin, or we'll all be doomed.
Mr. Carby. What? We should wear ship, Captain O'Needin. Tack, Carby. We're coming out of the centre. You'd best be right, Captain. Give the order. Tack ship!
God help us take a win. Captain Kirkwood died. Didn't hear you enter.
The storm is worsening.
To understand you, we're through the gale.
The storm in our minds worsening. You, me, the whole crew. Our minds a turmoil of sin. But I have prayed long for us and for our speedy end. Resigned, are you? Resigned to what will happen?
Are you ill?
Not ill, no. Destined. And I'm finding that by turns strange and fearful. To die uneaten. To face the great divide. And I'm not so sure that I deserve Almighty God's hand on the cross.
You've taken medicinal brand, eh?
Say that?
You are drunk, sir.
Dare you? I am sober, sir. And you will listen while I tell you why we will all die this day. Now listen, O'Needin. 6 years ago, out of Dover, I commanded the schooner Faybell. Oh, God had given me a crew of evil, devil-venomed men. Well, in latitude 51, shortly after 8 bells, 7th December 1858, these men, by subterfuge and evil sleight, drove my command upon the wreck, sinking her. 4 of them and myself survived.
Why are you telling me all this?
I wish I had not survived. At the court of inquiry, I was found guilty, of course. The devil's work makes good men guilty. And I was sentenced to 18 months suspension.
This I did not know.
I've given my whole life to the sea. And when they said I was incompetent, it was like striking me with a plague, to condemn me to a death. For I could not live with such a sentence.
Well, I must get on deck.
This crew is like them. The crew of cutthroats and madmen who steered the Fay Bell onto the wreck. Oh, I will make these men pay for the Fay Bell and for my terminal humiliation.
I don't understand one word of what you are saying.
I am captain of this ship, and it is my duty to inform you that this is my last voyage on Earth. None of these mutineers will survive me.
You're either mad, drunk. Oh, excuse me, I must get on deck.
You have heard my testament, Onedin. My duty to you, sir, is over.
We'll take the pilot aboard soon, Captain.
Aye, Mr. Carby.
Dover's a pretty place.
Ah.
I've wenched there. Pretty girls.
Carby, if you're going to take to the boat, now's the time, eh?
Aye.
Well?
I think I've changed my thoughts on it.
Why?
I trust you, Captain Onedin.
Well?
I'll sail with you to London and arrest. And pray God you will say in court what you've seen on this ship.
Well, I promise nothing, Carby. I shall tell the truth as I saw it.
That's enough. Here, Captain, here's the pilot.
What are you doing here?
Leave go my arm.
Well, then you'll go ashore immediately.
James, listen to me.
Look, you should not be aboard. You've been dragged through the course for months as a witness.
James, listen to me. You're low in the water.
Captain Onedin, you must know, sir, you're very low in the water.
I thought you'd been handling heavy.
James! James, I must have words with...
She must have sprung a plank in a storm.
Well, in God's name, sir. It's a miracle she kept afloat.
Tell me, Mr. Pilot, can you navigate us like this to London?
I can but try, sir. It's better than beaching her.
All right, do so then, please.
Aye, sir.
Put 2 men on the pumps. They won't get the level down, but they might stop it rising.
I merely interpret the obvious facts, James. You've soft-soaked those mutineers.
It could look bad for you in court, James.
What would you have done in my position, eh?
Incarcerated them in a French prison and then hired another crew to bring the ship back home again. A crew bright enough to detect a sprung plank before we lose half our cargo.
In a French port, you can't sign a crew in a day.
You should have let me come with you, James.
I would never have treated with that rabble, and then we would never lost our cargo.
Oh, if they're all as rotten as that.
And there goes our profits, and put us back into debt again, as if we haven't got debts enough as it is. You've never told us why the crew mutinied.
Were they justified?
Mutiny's never justified.
Gravesend.
The pilot, sir.
Come in.
Thank you. My name is Parsons.
And I am Captain Kirkwood. You are aware of the situation on my ship?
Captain Needham has explained it.
Out. Captain O'Needin has a glib tongue.
Oh, but my dear
He was
sir.
not witness to the mutinous events. Sit down, please, Mr. Pilot.
Thank you.
I wish to talk to you concerning two things. First, how the word of Captain O'Needin is unreliable. And two, how the crew of this my ship is planning to murder me.
Murder you, sir?
Now, please, will you listen to what I have to say?
Oh, it's not my business to give a verdict. That's up to the courts to decide, isn't
But
it?
you say the mate, Mr. Carp, has been in prison 3 times.
Aye. Once for assault of a captain.
Well, that'll not go in his favour in court.
Well, we're anchoring. I'll go fetch up the peelers and the magistrates.
No, you deal with the unloading of the cargo. I'll deal with the magistrates once I've talked to Captain Kirkwood.
Right.
Well, come along, Robert.
Captain Kirkwood, may I see you on deck, please?
Why didn't he tell me?
What, James?
Captain Kirkwood told the pilot that he overheard the crew saying they were going to murder him and make it look like suicide. Oh, in God's name, didn't he tell me?
Perhaps he thought he couldn't trust you.
I never said they were anything else but mutineers.
And murderers.
Oh, they're all murderers. Screaming their innocence when the peelers took them ashore. Captain Kirkwood said that all out.
A word with you, Captain O'Needin.
What is it, Mr. Parsons?
They pumped the water level down, sir. There's something you ought to see. That's just over here, sir. Now, that's not storm damage, sir.
Happened during the storm. We were all on deck. Could only have been Captain Kirkwood.
But a man wouldn't deliberately try to sink his own ship and drown the entire crew. It'd be madness.
Mad enough to hang himself. Make it look like murder.
Well, there's one piece of good news at least. I've made a record price for those pineapples. What are you both looking for?
James! Here.
Tanoga. What's he doing there?
Helping to hang an innocent crew.
Yes, it is from your brother, Robert.
Is there any news of the crew?
Oh, patience, me love. Give me time to read.
Well, are the men guilty or no?
Now, James is appearing as witness, enjoying the performance, but begrudging the time spent in idle talk.
Oh, yes. Time is money.
But he seems confident that he will see the men freed.
Come in.
Captain O'Neill, I wish to thank you. We've just been released from Brixton. You saved my life and the crew's. We would have hanged.
I'm glad you've come, Carby. I wanted a word with you.
Yes, Captain.
You had one clear duty on this voyage, and that was to be mate of this ship. You should have done everything in your power to get this ship to London as fast as possible, but you didn't. You mutinied.
Did we not have good reason to mutiny?
Ah, you're a fool, Carby. Don't you see, if you'd not mutinied, the captain would have had no excuse for his action, which depended on appearing to be murdered by a crew in mutiny. Ah, well, courts have let you free. But don't ever let me see your face on one of my ships again.
Yes, Captain.